Black Native Americans in War and Peace. Some races and non-black Native Americans claim black people did not go to war against whites. This is wrong. Black Native Americans had many wars with the whites, but like the Aztecs, they were sold out by Mongoloid Indians who joined the whites so that they could take away the native lands of black Native Americans. You don't know anything about the wars Native black Americans had with whites unless you study the Yamasee. The Yamasee was a black Indian group that lived in Florida. The Yamasee were a very strong Indian group. These blacks ruled over much of the Carolinas, all the way from the Carolinas down to Florida. Much of what we now Georgia was a stronghold of the black Native Americans. These blacks lived predominantly from the Smoky Mountains in North Carolina southward as far as St. Augustine, Florida. The vast majority of Native black Americans lived in California or along the eastern seaboard in North America. They belonged to many confederations, including the Muscoean, the Algonquin, and other groups. Some of their tribal names include the Tuscarora, the Secolan, the Tamaqua, the Nanachoke, the Kashida, and the Yamasee. The Yamasee was a tribe of black Native Americans who originally lived in Florida and southern Georgia, until they were forced to migrate north into South Carolina by the Spanish in the 16th century. The Yamasee were part of the Muscoean Confederacy. This was a confederacy of Mongoloid and black Native Americans. The whites began to steal the Yamasee lands. By 1715, the Yamasee, leading a confederation of other tribes, attacked the whites to drive them off their lands. The Cherokee, who were part of the Muscoean Confederation, broke away and formed an alliance with the British in 1718 and helped defeat the Yamasee. The Yamasee who were not killed were sold into slavery. Most of the Yamasee fled back into their ancestral homeland in Florida, which by this time was settled by the Creek Indians. The Yamasee were virtually wiped out due to protracted combat with the Creeks, who felt they were trying to take over their land. But the land was originally Yamasee land. Some Yamasee joined the Seminole tribe. In return, the Cherokee took control of Yamasee lands. If not for the breakaway of the Cherokee, the whites would have been defeated. This would have been one of the first wars, the war between America and the Yamasees, that the Indians would have won. But the blacks were sold out by the Mongoloid Indians.